Sometimes there's no star shining, skying the edge of the universe. Sometimes you can't see your horizon between the ocean and the earth. And just when you were thinking about singing down, I'm gonna pull you up, I'm gonna pull you around. May I remind you of that scene? The spirit is our gasoline. May I remind you of that scene? We were armed to love in Aberdeen. May I remind you of that scene? Let a million mirror balls beam. May I remind you of that scene? You say living ain't nothing but hassle in a manila envelope rain, driving cold all night to Newcastle. Getting to be a repetitive strain. Just when your thoughts are going down the drain, may I remind you of that scene? The spirit is our gasoline. May I remind you of that scene? We were armed to love in Aberdeen. May I remind you of that scene? Let a million mirror balls beam. May I remind you of that scene? I'm gonna pull you up, I'm gonna pull you around. May I remind you of that scene? The spirit is our gasoline. May I remind you of that scene? We were armed to love in Aberdeen. Let a million mirror balls beam. The spirit is our gasoline. May I remind you of that scene? We were armed to love in Aberdeen. They say the stars can see their rays, nor can they count the number of days. No flower can say what perfume is. All we got is bird and eels. May I remind you of that scene? We were armed to love in Aberdeen. May I remind you of that scene?